Well, evenings in Denver are now a lot brighter. Some homeowners aren't happy about it.
The city started installing new LED street lights to save money, hoping it would keep our streets safer.
But neighbors tell us the lights are just blinding. Denver 7's Jessica Porter is live in Lower Highlands neighborhood where the lights were just installed. Jessica?
An interrogation light, but brighter.
One by one across Denver, gone are the old yellow street lights, and in their place, 44,000 white LED lights are popping up across the city.
You know how they have the big construction lights? And so I came to the front door and I looked out just because I was curious what was going on, and I was really surprised to see it was the light.
I used to like to lie in bed at night and look out at the sky.
But now, this is Yolanta Bennell's view.
There you go.
A bedroom I had to turn into a tomb.
Bennell says glare from the new LED street lamps on her block is so intense she put up blackout curtains.
So that we could sleep at night.
It's a growing annoyance as more and more towns and municipalities switch from orange sodium lights to longer-lasting blue LEDs. But this glare may actually be the least of our concerns.
There has not been consideration of the human health impacts, and that's what I very strongly object to.
Professor Richard Stevens has spent more than 30 years studying the health effects of artificial light, including LEDs.
There is no question too bright light, particularly blue, short wavelength light, in the evening, it has potent effects on our physiology.
In particular, he says study after study shows it severely suppresses the production of melatonin, a much-needed hormone.
Increasing the risk of diabetes, obesity, depression,
and potentially certain cancers. A study from Harvard found a greater risk of breast cancer in women who live in neighborhoods that have higher levels of outdoor lighting during the night.
Glenna, so this new report comes from ANSYS, the French Agency for Food, Environmental, and Occupational Health and Safety. Now, what they found that new scientific evidence confirming the phototoxic effects of short-term exposures to high-intensity blue light. Now, phototoxicity is a condition where the eyes or skin have become overly sensitive to light. Now, ANSYS also found that chronic exposure to this low-intensity source can damage the retina in our eyes, big problem, and this can increase your risk of age-related macular degeneration. As for sleep, blue light can disturb your natural sleep rhythms because our eyes have blue light photoreceptors, so exposure to blue light at night can lead to a suppression of the hormone melatonin.
So what about those anti-blue light sunglasses? Do they work, Doc?
Glenda, so the report said that protection via the anti-blue light screens, sunglasses, and filters have not been proven. So another study actually back in 2017 investigated these types of products and also found that there was not enough high-quality evidence to support their use. So I would not recommend them for now. But for the most part, sunglasses are designed to block out ultraviolet light. So the ones with the yellow tint could possibly be useful in lowering how much blue light gets to your eyes. I'd also suggest swapping out white and cold blue lights in your home for what we call warm white LED lighting. Now, warm white tends to pose less of a phototoxicity risk.
Blue spectrum LEDs are hitting your eyes and causing macular degeneration, cataracts, on and on. LEDs have not been out there widespread for that long. We're actually going to see, and doctors are already reporting this, incredible increases in cataracts, macular degeneration, on and on. My buddy got macular degeneration in both of his eyes. He's been staring at a computer screen like this. The serious issue that nobody talks about, and I'd like to get on to the other dangers of LEDs, is that LEDs are quasi-point source light. If you actually look into the technology, I'm not going to go into that, and the PN membrane of an LED and all the techno jargon that you don't care about, which I know you don't care about. The point is, and this is the reason why basically 99.9% of lasers are LED lasers. The serious danger of LED illumination of any variety, even if it's red and spectrum LEDs, however, once again, all white light LEDs are RGB, and that phosphorescent dome, the frosted filter over top of a conventional LED light bulb is blue transparent, because the energy matrix of actually blue light is like 3.1 electrovolts higher than that of red and spectrum light. Is that LEDs are point source light. This is what an actual LED is, and that's the reason why basically nearly 100% of lasers now, anyway, are LED lasers. The reason why they're banning conventional light bulbs is forcing people to go to LEDs is not because they're so energy efficient and they're so long lasting, which they are, and that's wonderful, and I appreciate that about them too. But, you know, this is no different than the big push that basically every government's doing to go towards electric cars, you know, save Mother Earth. Well, LEDs are just another variety of the electric car push. The side effect of electric cars is they're great for 15-minute cities. You can't go very far, and the thing about LEDs is that I'd like to get that here in a second. But anyway, LEDs are a monochromatic light, and a monochromatic light is both dangerous and open to, not my opinion, not my feeling, not my belief, but open to endless manipulation. Once again, the grandchild of Project Bazaar was they found out you don't need super high energy EMF to induce mood states and manipulation of people. You don't. But you can't do it with an incandescent light bulb. It has to be point source monochromatic LED lights. That's not my opinion, that's a fact, by the way. Repeat after me. All LEDs create a spatially coherent monochromatic light. I'm going to say it once again because it's so incredibly important. And of course, the main thing that nobody talks about is that LEDs are quasi-point source light, conventional illumination LEDs. Quasi-point source light, which is basically a fancy way of saying they're lasers. There's a reason why they're so bad for your skin, your eyes, your cataract, to cause macular degeneration, and all you have to do is induce a frequency that is invisible to you. With the proper tools you could actually see it, just like a frequency counter, you could see it. But you can induce states in anybody without them having any idea whatsoever about it.
Claim that LED lights contain too much blue light. It is true that LED lights contain a high amount of blue light, but not all LED lights are created equal. A bright white light contains more blue than a warm white light. A 3000 Kelvin color temperature LED has about 21% blue light. Is that a lot? Well, maybe. On a sunny day, the sun is putting out about 25% blue light. So is this claim really true? It's subjective, so I consider this one complicated. Relative to other LED light sources, LED does have higher amounts of blue light, but let's move on to the other claims regarding blue light to see how much this really matters. Next up is the claim that blue light has been proven to interfere with your circadian rhythm. That's our 24-hour clock that helps us go to sleep and wake up relative to the cycle of the sun. This is 100% true. So blue light is starting to matter. On the third claim, there have been some studies that strongly suggest, and in some cases prove, that blue light can cause oxidative damage to your eyes, along with inflammation, cell death, and increased chance of age-related macular degeneration. This is a claim that has very little supporting evidence that overhead or ambient LED light sources can cause these issues. I found one study of rats where they were subjected to overhead lights, and it did result in more damage than the rats in the control group who were not exposed to LED lights. There's one major difference with rats than humans though. Their eyes move independently, unlike ours, and they always have one eye looking up. So it is not uncommon for a rat to be looking directly into an overhead light source. That's not something us humans typically do. Many of the studies around these claims are related to LED screens, so when it comes to overhead LED lights, I'm going to evaluate this claim as mostly false. Next up is the claim that LEDs contain no near-infrared light, which is beneficial to our eyes. It is absolutely true that LED lamps used in overhead and ambient lights contain no near-infrared light. Does this really matter? Is near-infrared good for our eyes? My research says yes, this is very likely. There have been a number of experiments using near-infrared light to help heal damaged eyes. Some researchers have pointed out that the sun contains near-infrared light, and our exposure to the sun may help heal our eyes on a regular basis. It seems plausible to me that the sun's near-infrared light may help offset the damaging blue light of the sun, but that's just my unscientific speculation. I'm marking this claim as true. Last up is flicker. Some critics say LEDs should not be used because they flicker. This is probably the most ill-informed claim. All lights powered by AC power have some level of flicker. Even an incandescent bulb has flicker, but is usually not visually perceptible. Fluorescent lights flicker quite a bit, and some LEDs do flicker, but not because of the LED light source itself. It's due to the AC to DC converter built into either the lamp or the external driver. A good quality AC to DC converter will have no flicker. I will consider this claim false, but I'd like to add one caveat. I wish there was an LED certification that would measure flicker so we as consumers could be informed when we make a purchasing decision. Here are my recommendations. Use warm white LEDs in most parts of your home. I only use bright white LEDs in the garage and the workshop where I need to be alert and have a good light source to safely carry out tasks. Avoid LED lamps in lights that are not overhead. I converted back to incandescent and halogen for lights that are at or near eye level. So all the table lamps and pendant lights do not use LEDs. Reconsider your screen habits first before replacing your overhead lights. If you aren't taking advantage of nightlight mode on your screens, or if you aren't using blue blocker software or glasses, you are getting exposure to blue light on a regular basis. For recessed lights, consider deep baffle LED lights. These reduce glare and thus the amount of direct light into our eyes. Buy high quality LEDs so you avoid LEDs that flicker. If you detect or even think you detect flicker, return those lights for another brand. Supplement sunlight during the day. Open your shades or blinds. Don't let artificial light be your only source of light when the sun is out. Lastly, spend at least 1 hour outside every day. It's a great way to get that beneficial near-infrared light, not to mention all the other health and emotional benefits it provides.